So Shannon, where will the top 4 quarterbacks go?
I know there's been much speculation, so I'm going to speculate myself, Skip.
Do it.
I'm going to take Sam Darnold going to the Browns.
All right.
I'm going to say Rosen goes to the Jets.
All right.
I'm going to say Mayfield goes 11 to the Dolphins, and Allen 12 to the Bills.
Okay. Interesting.
Because I think Darnold to the Browns makes the most sense because he has the least red flags as far as off the field. You know, we know what Baker Mayfield has done. Now we're finding out about the tweets that Josh Rosen had when he was in high school.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen had when he was in high school. And so when you go in #1 overall, all these guys are going to be expected to be faces of the franchises. But Skip, when you go in #1 overall, that's a different ball game than saying going #3 overall or number 15 overall. That's the hey.
Yep.
So I think with that being said, I like Darnold #1 to the Browns.
So, I have been saying for weeks on the show, do not be surprised if the Cleveland Browns take Baker Mayfield #1 overall. And I've said many times, if Hugh Jackson has a large amount of input into this decision with obviously the new GM John Dorsey, the owner Jimmy Haslam, I just have a gut feeling that Hugh Jackson would lean Baker. I think they all have issues with Baker, and now I have another issue with Baker. This Brett Favre memorial picture that they went way out of their way to reconstruct.
Yeah, to get everything nailed down.
Wait, the mom went out and bought wallpaper to look like the paneling, the wood paneling on Brett's wall. So Baker is saying, look, everybody, I'm Brett Favre. You like that?
No.
I don't love it. I just don't love it.
Does he know some of the problems that Brett had off the
Probably
field?
not. And by the way, does he know how great Brett Favre? Because he was pretty great. Your brother could attest to that, right?
Remember what led Brett to get traded out of Atlanta?
He had big issues.
Yeah, Baker. Do you know? And there's an issue that he went to get help for.
He did.
Baker, do you understand? See, I think he's saying, well, I'm Brett Favre on the field. I'll take risk, and I'm going to be great and play 20 years, all that.
Very good point.
But
because the reason I think that Green Bay, quote unquote, stole Brett from the Falcons.
Absolutely.
He had some big alcohol issues to start with,
Yeah.
and then he had some pain medication issues
Yes.
that he needed help for,
Well,
right?
put it like this here. He spent more time in Buckhead than he did up in Swanee.
He did. Well
So-
said. And Swanee is where the training
It used to be. It's in Flowery Branch now. But, Skip, why? Why?
I don't know. So if you draft Baker Mayfield, this is what you're going to get. You're going to have to put up with that. He's going to plant flags. He might grab his crotch. And you just hope he doesn't get arrested for public intoxication. You just hope he doesn't go full on Johnny Manziel and go completely over the edge as Johnny did from alcohol to drugs as a Cleveland Brown. So is it possible the Cleveland Browns would risk taking the next Johnny Manziel after they flamed out so ingloriously with the real Johnny Manziel? Is it possible? I'm going to say they close their eyes and go there because for all this, all the red flags, I'm telling you, he was the best performer of these quarterbacks. I can just show you the numbers. He's got a big arm, nice arm, not a huge arm, but a good arm. Can throw the deep ball, high football IQ, operated a very complex Lincoln Riley offense at Oklahoma, and put up the top QBR in college football total QBR the last 2 full football seasons. 41 touchdowns last year to only 6 interceptions. And I keep calling him a careful risk taker on the field. He tries things where I say, uh-oh, that's an interception. And then he manages not to throw the interception.
Right.
He knows where to miss the gamble. Okay? So I think he can play. Charlie Weiss, remember, day after the national semifinal, the loss to Georgia, double overtime. Charlie Weiss sat right there and said, I want that kid, Baker Mayfield, because he has things I can't teach. Whatever that spark is, that competitiveness, that chip on the shoulder. He's always had a chip on. He walked on twice.
Right. The thing is, Skip, all these guys have flags, have some, whether it's turnovers, whether it's, intellectually being challenged or how he takes the coaching or issues off the field. So everybody has the issues. Basically, you put on a blindfold, they spin you around, and whichever one you touch, he's coming.
Okay? So I'm going Baker #1 to Cleveland, and I'm going Saquon #2 to the New York Giants. And I don't love him either because I dare anybody to go put the tape in at Ohio State, at Michigan State, back-to-back, and tell me what you see, because you're not going to see a whole lot, except he returned the opening kickoff at Ohio State.
You believe if Baker goes 1, that the Giants would really pass on Darnold?
I just think it feels like the new regime is committed to Eli for the next 3 years. I think they're thinking Tom Brady-esque, you know, like he can.
But what
I didn't see it last year.
But what has he shown to make you think that?
I don't know. I saw erosion last year, but you can certainly give him a pass, so to speak, because he lost everybody. He lost Odell and he lost Brandon Marshall.
Okay, how about this here? Let's throw last year out of the way.
Okay.
Okay. The year before they went to the playoffs. What about the 3 previous years? Mm-hmm. How did he look?
Well, you can't do much resume. I mean, he led the league in interceptions 3 times, and he beat Tom Brady twice in Super Bowls, and that's it. You got to hang it on that. But he's 37 now, and I just think they're going to think Saquon is such a good kid. He's perfect. You know, he is really high quality. We had him on the show. High caliber. You can trust him.
Right.
However good he can be, he's going to be that good right away. Mm-hmm. And he will be there for you every Sunday. And there's something to be said for that.
Right.
So I think they're going to try to pair him up with Eli to take some pressure. They went and got Nate Solder from the Patriots to be their left tackle. And if Odell is still a Giant, we don't know if that's going to change.
Pat Sherman said he's definitely going to be a Giant in 2018.
So guess what? That leaves in my draft here, my little mock, day before mock or day of mock. That leaves Sam Darnold going to the Jets. We got some Jets fans in our control room. I think they would love that because I don't think they quite trust Baker Mayfield. So Sam Darnold would fall to the Jets, and then the Browns get another shot, and I assume it would be Bradley Chubb because, again, it's another guy I watched a lot, and I didn't just leap off my screen. But again, he's the highest-rated player on the board, which brings us to the 5th overall pick belongs to your man John Elway. Well, okay, so Josh Allen's sitting there. I mean, Lamar Jackson sitting there, Josh Rosen sitting there, right? Mm-hmm. Would he do any of that? Would he go? And remember, Josh Allen, for all the problems we just talked about, he looks just like John Elway, right?
Yeah.
Measurables.
Yep. Exactly. Definitely.
Prototype.
Yes.
He's Elway-esque.
And then, but minus the production in college.
Minus the production.
So all he has is the physical. He has the physical traits of John Elway.
Sort of body type. He looks just like John. 6'4",
235, 240.
Okay, pretty good. I say John says no to a quarterback. I say he just says, I'm going forward with Case Keenum. I'll have to figure it out next year.
Right.
And to me, I'm going to say it one time and one time only. I think the best player in this draft at a position is Roquan Smith from Georgia.
Yeah, he's
he's just special.
Yeah. I like Minka Fitzpatrick also.
I do too. But Roquan against my Sooners and Baker Mayfield, he was everywhere. Yeah, he is a football player. He can run and hit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy you can plug in, and he's just going to be a Pro Bowl player, I think, for 10, 12 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what I would do there, which drops these quarterbacks down to Joy's team drafting 11th, the Miami Dolphins. I say they take Josh Rosen. That's my gut feeling, which leaves Josh Allen, suddenly a controversial figure on the board. And the Buffalo Bills are still sitting at 12, and this obviously hinges on whether they would move up before the draft. I would say they would close their eyes and take Josh Allen at 12. They've got A.J. McCarron now to get them through a year or two, and they would go Josh Allen. But Josh Allen, given what we just talked about in our previous topic, he could fall through the whole first round. He could. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean,
and the wild card to all this mix is Lamar Jackson. We're going to hit him head on here in just a second.
If you guys, the Cowboys, remember you guys got Lyle Collins.
19th.
When he fell in the draft.
Well, he fell out of the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of
some unsubstantiated.
Yes. There was a lot of conjecture about his involvement in a murder.
And then nothing. But you just cost that man probably $15 million.
You probably did. Because I think he was a top 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, Jerry took a flyer on that, took a risk, and that one
looked like it's going to pay off. You're going to kick him inside the guard, which is a better natural suited position for him.
Yep.
It's not a good time of year for these kids to have enemies.
Nope.
But we'll see what happens tonight. How clutch was LeBron last night? We'll discuss that with Rod Strickland next.